size myself up. Oh my gosh, oh, so funny. It's like, okay, do I admit that I have a little stain on my shirt, or do I look like I have gained about 40 pounds, or do I pretend that it's like time for me to put on my hood? Good morning. Good morning. So this is a bit early for me to do a TikTok live from outside. Um, I noticed that I do tend to show up for 7 a.m. TikTok lives, but that's usually in between coaching clients. So I'm usually at my desk, but today is a different vibe because shortly after this is over, we're going to be leaving for the airport. So I thought, you know what? I would show up early, 7 a.m. Eastern time, that's me, um, and do a TikTok live. And also kind of get some fresh air and watch the sunrise because it's crazy how the seasons are changing. It's a bit chilly out right now, and definitely the temperature is not what it was yesterday. It's actually been kind of hot. It's actually warmer in the house now. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. So I do these TikTok lives at different times of the day because, first of all, I like to keep things, um, I like to keep them fun and flexible. When things become rote to me, I mean, I remember ever since I was, at least in high school, I just remembered thinking, oh my gosh, like that whole kind of just the same thing over and over again. I'm going to try to pull this closer to me so I can sit cross-legged. So whoa, there isn't a there isn't a what do you call it, an earthquake or anything going on here in Pennsylvania. And I want to get a bit more of, look, I'm casual. Look, I've got a fake tree behind me. Check me out. So good morning, everybody. Oh, Ponytail Girl Vintage. Now, this is good to know because I'm not kidding. We are headed to Detroit later, today. That's where our destination is. So, small world. It's good to know about the humidity. I will pack accordingly. It was pretty warm in the high 80s here in PA, too, so I was kind of used to it. But that's good to know because, yeah, just knowing what to put in my suitcase and to make sure I have layers because here's the funny thing, like, the temperatures may still be warm, but man, does it get dark early now. I last night we were hanging out on the patio. It was a lovely, lovely night, but around 8 o'clock it was already pretty dark. So the seasons are changing. Now that's a good start to a riff. I always feel like I'm some sort of jazz cat when I'm riffing here on Destination Decluttered TikTok Live. So I show up to help you with your clutter. Oh, good to know about the severe thunderstorms. Life's an adventure. So, hey, you know what? If today's my last day, if something happens and my plane goes, woo, you know what? I want to make sure I at least started out good. And I'll be honest with you. Um, I couldn't always say this in my life, but part of my decluttering process has improved so many other areas of my life that if something untoward should happen, I want people to know that I was really digging my life. I have very few regrets. Actually, this trip that we're taking is to make up for a time where I made a decision that I later regretted. Now, I say this because I don't know where you are in your life. I hope you're doing well. I truly do. When you do well, when you're feeling good, you're going to do good. When you feel better, you do better. But if you're not feeling so great, I want to just encourage you. There's something you can do about it. There is something you can do, no matter how seemingly small. What was that for the want of a nail? The whole thing about a nail. I think it was probably the nail that kept the shoe on the horse. And, I swallowed a fly to eat, I swallowed a spider to catch the fly type of thing. So I say this because I know for me, it feels better to speak kindly to myself, to encourage myself versus discourage myself. Notice even the word discourage, it kind of takes the courage away. It disses your courage. It says, oh, you can't do that. Here are all the reasons you can't do that. And I have a list. I mean, I was going to say, look at me, but look at me. I'm a woman in her late 50s with no makeup and glasses and short hair and cellulite. All these reasons why I shouldn't be happy according to the external world. But man, do I love my life. Now, I don't say this to show off. I say it as encouragement because it has nothing to do with what's out there. It has to do with what's in here. And maybe for you, because you're tuning in and you say, oh, this girl is named Beth, but her thing says Destination Decluttered. What's up with that? What's up with that? What does this have to do with clutter? Well, this is what I think is for years, we are so I'm going to use my own life. You grow up in your parents' house. You learn from them what to do, what not to do, how to take care of your stuff, how not to take care of your stuff, what to buy, what not to buy, how often do you buy things. Like you pick up habits when you are in your 10, like from 0 to 10 and basically 10 to 20, you're kind of under their roof. Then maybe what you do is you move out. So you move out and maybe you move out into your own place and you have habits that you picked up from them, but you also maybe wanted to do things different. So maybe you lived in a super uptight house where it was clean all the time and you wanted to be a little bit messy. Maybe you lived in a messy house and you want to be a little bit clean. So you try to change your habits, and you do things throughout your life to make you feel better. It's what we all do. If we don't feel good, we want to make ourselves feel better. And living in a capitalist society that says go buy something to make you happy, that's what we do. I was literally, moments before I tuned in on this TikTok Live, a video from the 80s popped up on my FYP of the Framingham Mall in Framingham, Massachusetts. I think the video is probably originally from Channel 2 WGBH, and it was all mall walkers. So we are conditioned to buy, to bring items into our life with the hope that it's going to make us happy. Now, as I like to say, at a certain point, we do need things. Like, I don't want to be sitting on the floor here, naked, talking to you. Ugh. So we need a certain amount of things to make ourselves comfortable. But sometimes we don't know when to stop. Sometimes we keep on buying and keep on accumulating because this is fun and hey, I dig this, and you keep on doing it. But unless on the other side you're also kind of balancing the scales, suddenly you may show up at a few decades into your life saying, whoa, hold on. I got a wicked lot of stuff here, and it's not bringing me up. It's not lightening up my life. It's actually weighing me down. Now, I say this because I've walked through that walk. I have driven that road trip. And I am now at that part of my journey where I am loving my life. Now, I love this. Pam Stone says, when you learn to love your life, it changes you from the inside out. Yeah, we try to go from the outside and change. The outside stuff is going to change here. What I want you to do is make a U-turn. Instead of looking out at all that stuff, a U-turn. Y-O-U. Get it? Look, I'm clever, and it's only 7:08 in the morning. A U-turn. Turn that car around and start going here. Now, I say this because I'm a decluttering life coach. If we haven't met before, my name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, so I help you declutter, I help you life, and I help you declutter your life. I do one-on-one coaching on Zoom that I have a lovely collection of group clients that my paid coaching, and I also do these TikTok lives quite often. So you're lucky you caught me because I don't post the schedule except for the people on my mailing list. So nice to meet you if we haven't met before, and I see a few names kind of like in that romper room type of thing. I see Kat, I see Elise, I see Mary, I see German Maid. Love it. So good morning, everybody. I hope you have something here. Maybe a warm beverage to chill your forever cold hands. Has nothing to do with the warmth of my heart. But I say this because I have, in the last 5 to 7 to 10 years, really changed my life in the fact that my husband and I have decluttered. We used to, one of the things we bonded over when we first met was we loved to go out and go thrifting, go antiquing. That's the more expensive version of thrifting is antiquing. We used to go pick things off of people's trash heaps, We used to acquire items because we were just starting out together. We've only just begun. You were talking about Karen Carpenter yesterday on the TikTok Live. And that was fun for a while. We enjoyed it, and we were filling up our home, building a life together. But then we kept on bringing stuff in. So I did what a lot of people do is say, oh, well, I know what I'll do. This is kind of fun. I'll sell this stuff. So I sold stuff for a while. I did. I sold things online. I had a space for a while down in Delaware when we lived there, and when we moved here to Pennsylvania, I would still sell things online, but I would have giant garage sales in our garage. I would set up a 10 by 10 at events in town. I would sell stuff. The wonderful thing is, though, is that I learned really, instead of just noticing the surface level, you know, deal with clutter, is I decided to go a couple of layers deeper and say, why am I doing this? Why do I keep on acquiring things even though I know it's not really doing something for me? Now, this is kind of for me where the life coaching thing came in, because I was buying stuff. I was adding items to my house, or my life, but it was not giving that kind of return on investment, the ROI, as they say in the biz. It wasn't making me happy like it used to, or the way I hoped it would. And I was like, well, crap, what do I do now? Well, one of the things, strangely enough, has been the letting go of items that I don't want anymore. The lightening of my load. Literally, you guys, I'm not lying. My phone here that I'm talking into is on a little stand, and the stand is literally on top of my husband's suitcase, because after this TikTok live, we have a few quick things to do. We have to wait till the post office opens. He needs to mail something. Then we're heading to the airport. And I said, you know what? I'm sick of dragging around I'm lugging around. Notice luggage. Notice the word luggage has the word lug in it. I'm lugging around all this stuff kind of metaphorically. It's weighing me down. I'm feeling like I can't do what I want. Life is so heavy. So very slowly and incrementally, I decided to change it. I didn't do one of these giant, I'm going to change my life and big declarations. No. Slow and steady wins the race, people. Okay, slow and steady wins the race. So I show up doing these TikTok lives early in the morning, especially today because we're going to the airport, to encourage you. To start your day with a bit of courage. To say, if something's bugging me in my life and in the world, I can do something about it. Now, what I found, and I'll share this with you, I used to shut down when people said, what do you want to do with your life? Remember that? I want to rock, the Twisted Sister video. I didn't know I wanted to rock. I did, but you know what? I was overwhelmed and I was fearful of figuring out what I wanted. So I would shut down. So people say, what do you want to do? I don't know. The crazy thing is I'm living the life that I was scared to tell everybody. I'm married to a cute musician. I live in a funky house in a cool neighborhood. I have wonderful friends. I have madcap adventures, like an episode of the Monkees. That's what I wanted. But when you're growing up saying you got to go to college and you got to do this and you got to do that, I share this with you because the overwhelm is real. If you feel overwhelmed, you're going to shut down. So I don't want to overwhelm you. So what do I want my life? Too big? Yeah, let's chunk it down. That's why we start with clutter. Oops, I hit the wrong button again. All right, I'm sorry. There we go. I'm going to just send, sorry. User 717, I hit your name by accident. I apologize. Okay. But there we go. Lasardo says, good morning, Beth, my favorite woman. Well, right back at you, huh? So here's what I like to do on these TikTok lives, but this is really not about me and what I like to do. I just show up for you. Nobody else, though. Nobody else. Not your parents, not your kids, not your husband, not your wife, not your neighbors. I show up for you. Because this is what a life coach does, is I show up in your life for you. What do you want? What do you want? And if I have an idea of how I can help you, I will share that idea. Okay. I love this. So I love hearing people kind of waking up and chiming in. So Sia, nice to see you as well. Kaku says, and I'm apologizing kind of across the board if I mispronounce your name. I'm doing the best I can. Loving these daily morning pep talks. Yeah, notice when you start the day feeling good, it tends to give you a bit of a lasting effect. It's like starting a road trip with a full tank of gas, as opposed to starting out, and I'm looking at my car right now, it's like starting out your trip for the day with a full tank of gas, with your windshield clean, with your car nice and tidy, it smells good, air in your tires, all those things you do, you want to check every day before you drive forward wherever you're going in your life. Do that for yourself inside. Now, to me, the gas in your tank of your car called your life is energy and encouragement and that feeling of possibility and power of I can do something. What do I want to do today? So I like to share that with you because it helps me going. And when I have it, it's like if I give it to you, I don't lose it. It just kind of expands. So I love this. So that's why I show up and answer your questions or help you with your clutter. So if you're struggling with clutter, I can answer your questions, or I can just riff and have you feel some good vibes as you listen to me. Maybe as you're waking up, you're scrolling on TikTok. I was scrolling on TikTok in bed about a half hour ago. Or maybe you are puttering around in the morning. You're making your coffee, maybe doing some what I call surface level decluttering. Maybe you're getting ready for work. It's a nice kind of way to start the day to say, hey, you know what? Regardless of what happened yesterday, and we have a bunch of yesterdays behind us, I can change something today, no matter how small, and that can just change the trajectory of my life in a really good way, not just randomly, like I don't know where I'm going to go. No, this is why I call it Destination Decluttered, because I want you to think of a destination so you have something to aim for when you're steering your car. Now, Lasardo, I love this. Beth, I finally managed to tackle the bedroom that stressed me out so much. It's clean and managed now. Rock on. High five. That's awesome. Very cool. So funny. I forget how quiet it is in the mornings here. And we have people who like walk by with their dogs and stuff. And some lady was just walking by and she looked over. I will also give you a high five, ma'am, for getting out in the morning and walking. You know, thanks to you. So you're welcome. You know what? Thanks to you. Aw, shucks. I say this. I say, I was just your co-pilot. You're the one who did the work. So thanks to you. Take some credit for the changes you're making in your life. Own it and feel good about it. Realize you did that. What else can you do? So cool stuff. Good morning, Lisa Z. I used to go to school with somebody named Lisa Z. All right, strong silver soul sister. I appreciate you and the decluttering community in your lives. Thank you. Yeah, it's a really nice group of people who always shows up. It's never the same thing. It's like having an open house and saying, hey, anybody, if you want to come in and hang out for a while, it's a cool group of people. No trolls, only good people. All right? So Sia is saying, what do I do if a part of a cup or a mug is someone else's collection and they still want it? Well, here's where I want to say, with decluttering, especially when we're starting, and even when you're continuing, if you live with somebody, and case in point, coffee mugs in my house. If you are living with somebody and not all the stuff in the house is 100% yours, you will have to get used to sharing. So I suggest when you're decluttering, first start with your own stuff. So like, for example, you've heard me before, and like when I'm at my desk, I show that little mug that I got in Ireland that I keep my Sharpie, not my Sharpies, my highlighters in. But my husband drinks coffee. He drinks coffee. I love tea. I love the Java and it loves me. Hey, everybody. Welcome. I say this because I have a certain kind of mug that I like. He has a certain kind of mug that he likes. So a part of the number of coffee mugs in our house are some of them are the ones I like and some of the ones that are his like. If it were just me in this house, I would not have those, but they are ones of his. And this is where I also want to say is to respect your items, but also respect other people and their stuff. Now, other people are just like you and me. They have different stories and feelings about their stuff, what they like, what they don't like, what it means to them, how they grew up, what, fits in their hand better, what fits the amount of coffee they mug. So notice this. If they still want it, honor their decision. Sia, what I would say to you then is if you think you have too many mugs in the cupboard, then look at the ones that are yours that you picked out. Maybe you can release some of those ones, If all the mugs are somebody else's and they're overflowing, I also want you to have a conversation with people, because decluttering of a shared living space shouldn't happen with just one person. It needs collaboration. It needs a shared agreement of where you're going and why you're doing this. So just notice that. Now, I love this. Laura Gibbons Voorhees says, good morning. I accomplished all my rehoming errands yesterday. Awesome. I love that. Isn't that a good feeling? Isn't that a good feeling? You know? Now, speaking of feelings, Elizabeth008 is saying, how do you start when it seems overwhelming? Here's where I like to just point it out. So, Elizabeth, I'm an Elizabeth too, but they call me Kane. They call me Beth. And overwhelm to me is a feeling. I'm feeling overwhelmed when I look and I see too much. When I look and I see too much and it seems daunting and overwhelming and too big, like look at me, I'm kind of looking at the world being like, oh my gosh, look at this pile of trash, look at this entire house full of clutter. How am I ever going to start? I feel a feeling of overwhelm, and that kind of shuts me down. So there you go, Laura Gibbons Voorhees, she's been with me. Breathe and start small. You guys, so here's a I almost said a pneumatic device, but I know that's something that pneumatic adds air to something. Here is a word device to help you to remember what to do when you feel overwhelmed. When you're in over your head, overwhelm. I'm feeling overwhelmed, and the feelings for me tend to be around right here or in my gut, kind of in this area of my body. And look at me, I'm like, rub your tummy, pat your head. When you're feeling overwhelmed, I want you to think, I'd rather feel the opposite. What would I rather feel? And I want you to bring your hands down. I want to feel, and just the word down. Down is going to remind you of some things you can physically do to shift your feelings. Down, slowing down, breathing down to the bottom of your lungs, slowing down your breathing in, and even more so, slowing down your breathing out. Quieting down where you are. If it's too noisy, maybe you go to a quiet place. I will share this with you. A wonderful quiet place that you can lock the doors and nobody can get you is you can go to your car. If it's too busy, you can pull around into a parking lot. If you don't want anybody, you can lock the doors, quiet down, cool down maybe. Maybe you're hot, cooling down, quieting down, slowing down, calming down. Notice calming down. Maybe just putting down your shoulders. What other downs can you think of? You can take your hands from the overwhelm and say, I'm going to grab this overwhelm and then bring it down because I am in control of it. I am in control of how I feel. And if I am feeling overwhelmed and I want to feel the opposite is down. So notice I haven't said one Smidgey Widgerson word about clutter and action. No. What we're doing right now is if your car doesn't have gas in it, if you're driving all over the place, maybe you're like, I don't know what to do, or I'm spinning my wheels. I'm in the driveway, and I haven't even turned on the car because I'm overwhelmed because I don't know what to do. Let's start there before you even make a move. When you feel better, when you start to calm down from the overwhelm, and the other one, the big one, ironically, is to chunk it down. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I'll help you, because another down, when you're feeling better, when you're not feeling down like discouraged, when you're feeling calmed down and quieted down, the next two downs are write it down and chunk it down. Write down not all the things, but whatever's in your head. Get it out of whatever comes up, write it down. When you look at your house and you say, what do I want to declutter? You have ideas. Don't keep them in your head. That can make you feel overwhelmed. Write them down, and you may find that there are fewer things on your list, or maybe there are a bunch of things. But even if there's a bunch of things on your list, you can chunk it down. Now, the cool thing is, I was up above it, but now I'm down in it. I love that. Notice that your home is probably already conveniently chunked down. Unless you live in some loft with nothing but the bed there, and there's maybe a screen around the toilet. Your house is chunked down into rooms. A chunk you can focus on instead of the whole place is going room by room, chunk by chunk. Okay? Notice those things, and you can do something about it. And this is my thing. Yeah, Lizardo is saying, and notice the wonderful thing about this community. Even while I'm talking kind of in almost like my podcast, which I swear I am going to start one. I'm just wicked busy right now. As I am talking in one stream of consciousness, other people are piping in, helping you out. Elizabeth Lizardo was saying, when I felt that, I started with small areas. Notice small, chunking it down, such as the top of the dresser. And notice, here's 3 chunks I want you to think of when you're thinking of clutter, to chunk it down so it's not all this stuff. To me, the way I coach and there are 3 layers of clutter, from the easiest to the not so easy but still doable. Surface clutter, stored clutter, sentimental clutter. Look at what Lizardo says. When I felt overwhelmed, I started small, such as the top of a dresser. Now, the top of a dresser is the surface area. Inside the drawers of the dresser is the stored clutter. So if you don't know what to do with the stuff in the drawers, let's get good on the surfaces. Surface clutter. I'll give a shout out right now. Right now, between now, it's 7:26 a.m. where I am. It may be a different time zone where you are, but it's pretty early in the morning, and I will be here for another 34 minutes. You can listen to me on this TikTok Live and also declutter surface clutter. Surface clutter is pretty much, this is a thing that's not where it's supposed to be. Let me put it either where it's supposed to be or closer to where it's supposed to be. Now, there are also some things that are in the cycles of living in a house. Dishes, laundry, stuff that you know what to do. Folding laundry, putting in kind of the mindless activities, the things that you don't even need to think about in order to do them. How about, if you're feeling like it, getting up right now wherever you are and just listen to me. I'll keep you company for the next however long you can listen to me, and do some decluttering. So funny, somebody's about to chop down a tree and it's only 7:30 in the morning. All right, small accomplishments. Small accomplishments add up. You and me, we are a single person, but man, when enough of us get together and fight the good fight, we are doing some good stuff. Think of a dollar. A dollar is made up of 100 pennies. If you want, and then $1 billion is, I like to say, a wicked lot of pennies. You can do something small and it can have meaning. Okay? Yeah. Now, here's the thing. And you know what? Laura Gibbons Voorhees is saying, I feel good about moving forward, but man, my destination seems so far away. No. Let me clue you in on something. Laura, let me help you with this. Now, this is something that is kind of more life coaching, and it's a little bit on the woo-woo spectrum of life coaching. But I love experimenting and kind of even just processing this idea, because this is a concept to me that I'm like, whoa, dude. So here's what, notice this. Notice when you said, and I'm going to try to scroll back up to saying, and sorry, A1C Spicy Lady, I just saw you wrote something. I'll get back to you in a sec. But just all, like, so you felt good accomplishing your rehoming yesterday, correct? I'm going to, saying correct, yeah. I felt good when I did that thing. I felt good yesterday. Your destination is kind of how it looks and feels and functions. Yes, that's the North Star that we're aiming for. But what all of us are aiming for, declutter-wise and otherwise, is to feel good. So think about this. You are going for, in the future, you are going for that. I will feel good when my house is decluttered. Yes, that is true. You will feel good but it's not conjunction junction, is not or, but I can't feel that way now. No. And I feel good today. So you already have a taste from doing the stuff you did yesterday. You are already kind of at your destination when you are feeling good about what you did. Isn't that kind of mind-blowing? You don't even need to be there to feel that feeling. You can feel that feeling anytime you want. So yeah, looking around, just the sheer looking of it may look like you have a long ways to go, but also notice, have you looked in the rear view mirror? Have you been paying attention? Have you been documenting all the things you've done to get yourself where you are right now? Have you looked at the map? You are closer to your destination than you ever have been. Now, this is where my brain immediately looks at like the map of the United States. I'm from the East Coast and always that kind of go west young man type of thing. If I'm on a road trip and I started in PA and I'm going to from Pennsylvania to Palm Springs, California, as soon as I start doing stuff to get there, I'm further away from where I started, and I'm closer to where I've been. Now, maybe I'm not there yet. No, maybe I'm in like I'm about to cross the Mississippi. Yeah, sometimes that happens. But guess what? Again, every day you can say, I'm further away from the way things used to be, and I'm moving closer. I am closer today than I ever was to that destination. And here's me and my road trip, and this is going to help. Don't treat it like an all or nothing. Don't say, I can't enjoy myself until I get there. No, that's a commute. That's a commute, and it sucks. Treat your life like a road trip. What do I mean by that? Enjoy every day. Bring joy into your life. Savor every joyful moment. High five yourself all over the freaking time every day. Because that's the energy, that feeling is really what you're aiming for at the end of the decluttering. But you can feel it every single day there. It's like, hey, you know what? We're heading to a place we're excited to get to, but we're going to take a little bit of time and we're going to have some fun on the way so we enjoy the journey. Isn't that what life is all about? Birth is here, death is here. You and I are on a road trip. Freaking enjoy it. Okay? Now, A1C Spicy Lady says, I had a cluttered house. My daughter decluttered and I stashed my items in my now hoarded bedroom. Okay. Sounds like you have destination bedroom if you want to start to do that. Lasardo, same thing. Here we go. Oops, a bunch of comments just popped up, and I'm going to try to just make sure I hear everybody right here, right? Yeah, and A1C Spicy Lady says, true, overwhelm will just lead to inactivity. So when you know that, because I'm telling you this, and so are other people, when you know that, you can do something different. But you have a choice. Here's how I like to say it. And it's so funny. I can always tell when my body wants to get involved in my coaching. It's like, here, I can help you out. I am hands. I don't just need to hold my coffee cup. Think about this. When you're doing what you're doing, you're going down a road. Now, you're knowing right now that what you're doing right now is not leading you to where you want to go. That road, if you keep on doing what you're doing, it's not going to get you over here, which is where you want to be. This road leads that way. And this is away from where you want to go. When you slow down, when you realize you're off track, it's just like being in your car. You're driving down a road, okay, here we go, and you're all of a sudden you're like, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't feel good. This isn't where I want to be. No, if I keep on driving down this road, this is going to take me to, this is going to take me to New Jersey instead of Pittsburgh. I'm going in the wrong direction. What do you do in your car? You pull over. You pull over, you say, oh, okay, well, here I am now. I started going towards Jersey. I got to stop and I got to change what I'm doing to get myself going in another direction. As soon as you stop and realize you can do something, a magical fork in the road appears, giving you a choice. Now you have a choice. You can continue doing what you're doing, or you can choose to do something else. The choice is yours. You can do something else. And when you do it with strategy, that's a fancy word, but basically having something you're aiming for, your destination in mind, and saying, I don't want to go there, I want to go here. And what can you do? And I say this, what can you do? Because you have the answers in you. You know what you can do, and you can do that stuff. Think of it. Fork in the road appears at any time you decide to pull over and say, wait a minute, why am I heading towards New Jersey as opposed to Pittsburgh when I really want to go to Pittsburgh? Oh, I just started going in the wrong direction. Okay, how do I turn around? How do I turn around? Okay, that's a bit of a long journey. How am I going to make this journey fun? Where am I going to stop for snacks? I got to pee, I got to sleep. Again, let's make it fun. I want to have some fun. Oh, look, we're going through this state. Now, this is me going to Palm Springs. Oh, you know what? Let's stop in Memphis. Let's make a road trip of it, people. Pull over on the side of the road and enjoy all these delightful things so you'll get that energy of your destination, and you're not even there yet. Okay? Now, I love this. Sia is working on your bookcase. Good morning from Michigan. Michelle, I'm going to Michigan myself today. There we go. Michelle, I am on Facebook, but not like this. You get the best of me. You get the best version of me on TikTok. You will see that I do have a presence on Facebook and Instagram. That, honestly, is just to let people who aren't on TikTok know that I exist. But I only do these TikTok lives on TikTok. Durr. Also, because I will be traveling for the next couple of days, just as a heads up, I will not be doing TikTok lives unless I decide to, but I doubt I will because we're just going away for such a short time. But all of my TikTok lives are recorded and uploaded to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. So if you are looking for something, you're like, oh, that was kind of fun. Maybe tomorrow when I'm getting up in the morning, I'll go to YouTube and just put on one of hers and I can listen to it. Okay? Gee, Schnauzer, nice to see you. You and I are usually have just gotten together earlier today. I slept in a little bit. It was kind of funny to sleep in on a Tuesday. Very cool. I hope you're doing well. There we go. Elizabeth says, yes, glad to have come across this today. It's a good start. Yeah, it's a road trip. The road trip between this morning and when you go to bed at night. That's a really mini road trip. Think of it as a road trip. How are you going to get stuff done and have fun? Or have fun and get stuff done, whichever order you want to do it. It is a journey. Yep, every little bit gets you closer to your goals. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, definitely a long journey, but notice the long journey, you got there so you can get out of it. You know, small step with 8 donation bags scheduled for pickup tomorrow. Now, that is not a small step. That is 8 small steps. Get a dopamine hit from each one of those. High five yourself every time they pick up one of those bags. That is good stuff. Celebrate the moments of your life. Was that coffee in the can type of thing? International coffees or something? I'm Gen X, so my head is filled with old-timey TV and music, okay? But seriously, they weren't kidding. Now, they said, celebrate the moments of your life by buying our coffee. No, you can sit there and choose to feel good in your body, and that, you know, it don't cost a thing, as the song says, okay? So notice these things. Yeah, cat mama. Need to remind myself I am closer than I was a year ago. That's why, again, I'm going to use the car analogy because I use it all the time. It is really important to acknowledge where you came from to encourage you to keep going. Look at where you were last year. Do your Facebook memories come up? Where were you last year? Were you in the same space? Were you feeling good? Were you not feeling good? I've been feeling good. So I'm like, yeah, mine come up and I'm like, God, my life is rocking. I mean, yeah, I have some amazing stories to tell about my small, I think I like this little life. You know, I'm on TikTok too, so I got a bunch of those songs going through my head. Pulling over, or even before you start the day, taking a glance in the rearview mirror and reminding yourself of all you did to get here today. Now, yeah, you've got some clutter in your house. I've got some clutter still in my basement. But you've done a lot of awesome things in your life to get you where you are today. Maybe there's some things you still need to work out. Yeah, that's what coaching can help with. You do the things that you're good at, and you've done well. Rock on with yourself. Do not discount all the good stuff you've done in your life and that's happened to you. Use that as evidence of, I did that there, so I can do this here. Yeah. So, yeah. Laura, I'm glad the mindset tweak helped you because it is a game changer. Because think about it, and this is where I get deep, because this is where I go. I don't just stay on the surface saying, you know, buy my clear plastic things to put your Cheerios in. Here, look, I'm going to sell you something that you don't really need. I'm going to add to your clutter, but I'm not going to solve it. If you got a problem, I'll solve it. Check out my tunes while the DJ revolves it. Why do couldn't it be a better song that I'm always quoting? Huh? Does it have to be Vanilla Ice? The universe laughs with me, not at me. But notice, people, none of us know when our last day is. Live that if you happen to get in an accident, that you felt like you were either feeling good or you were on your way. Okay? So notice this. Yeah, now Deanne Smith, you said, I need to unclutter. How do I motivate? So first of all, I would recommend it because I've been on this for about 40 minutes. No harm. I'm glad you found me, and hello, I can help you with that. Notice how you feel when you are cluttered, and notice if you're not motivated what your feeling is. This is what I'm going to feel like. Notice this phrase. Do you use, I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like it. Literally last night I said to my husband, sometimes I don't even feel like brushing my teeth. I don't feel like it. Okay. If I don't feel like it, how can I change that feeling? Now, I suggest changing a feeling in 2 ways. One is changing how your literal physical body changes. Move your body, go out for a walk, calm down, breathe down, dance around, do something with your body that has nothing to do with decluttering. It's just kind of changing the energy. It's kind of getting it active. But the other thing too is, this is, again, my hands are like, oh, I can help. You have a thought in your head that makes you feel a feeling. And when you feel a feeling, thought, head, heart, hands. When you feel a feeling, you either do something because you're excited or you don't do something because you're in fear. Really oversimplification. So if you want to change how you feel, back it up. Go up here and say, what's the thought in my head? What is a phrase that pops in my head when I look at the clutter? When you notice that thought, you can then play around with changing that thought. I like to flip it on the flip side. I say, okay, even just for starters, as an exercise, how do I flip that? What's the opposite of that thought? That unhelpful thought, how do I change it into a helpful thought? Because when I think a helpful thought, suddenly I feel better than I did when I was thinking the other thing. Mindset shift causes you to feel a different energy in your body. And when you get a green light here and you get a green light here, then you're going to be more apt to get up and take the action with your body. Okay? Kathy just said, you're awesome. That song just got you a follow. Oh, honey, I am a walking jukebox, so be careful what you wish for. But I have fun. I have fun. And see, this is what we do. We have fun and we get it done. You can have a good time. You can smile and laugh and also get really good shit done. To me, when it's serious and boring, there are times when you do need to be serious. You never need to be boring, though. It's totally, you never need to be boring. Things can be serious, but things can be light, and it doesn't mean that you can only get stuff done when you're being serious. I am serious about helping you guys. I showed up at 7 a.m. to reach out to people I don't even know to be like, hey, sitting here with my coffee. If you need some encouragement, I'm here to give it to you. I'm having fun. And here's the thing, when you're laughing and smiling and feeling that possibility, that's the energy of action, of moving forward in the right direction. Yeah, that one persona says you never know where her songs will come from. And I love it. It's true. It comes from growing up in a musical family. None of us are particularly talented to create the music, but boy, do we appreciate it. I also then married a musician, so all I'm surrounded by is music lovers in my life. So the strange thing is, though, talk about the opposites. I really enjoy the silence. I'm like Depeche Mode. I'm married to a man who makes noises for a living, really wonderful noises. However, I also love quiet. You know why? I need to, and this is a phrase I got from my mother, I need to hear myself think. When it's too loud, I cannot concentrate. I'll get distracted. It's probably the strain of ADHD that I got in my family. When I feel overwhelmed, I know that sounds can do that to me. So I say I need to quiet down. Sometimes I do this. Sometimes I'll put earbuds in and I'm not listening to anything. When I used to work in a corporate environment and they had that stupid open air concept or whatever, when you're overhearing everybody's conference calls. No, I used to put on earbuds, and then also so people wouldn't bug me. But also quieting down. That calms down my nervous system, and then I can hear myself think. Because when I can hear myself think, I have really good ideas in me, and I want to share them with people. Okay? Soaring Butterfly says, grateful you started early. You changed my mindset. I really needed that. Yeah, and it's kind of, everybody, it's like changing your underpants. You gotta commit to a fresh pair every day. Changing your mindset is a habit. You don't just change it. It's not like Ron Popeil. You guys who are on my mailing list, you saw when I was referring to, like, just set it and forget it. No, don't just set it and forget it. Set it, but keep checking back to be like, okay, am I heading in the right direction? Am I still excited about my destination? What am I doing today to get myself there? It's like, it's a constant practice. It's like exercising. It's staying in shape, and it's working on your mindset. It's just part of you taking care of yourself. Yeah, how about radio commercials when somebody's talking to you? Yeah, my husband, notice what makes you feel good and what makes you not feel good. Do the things that then change it to make you feel good. Okay? It's so funny to see people walking by and they hear me talking. You know, it's almost like back in the day when you walk down the street and you saw somebody talking to yourself, you're like, oh, that's a person who is talking to the invisible people. And then nowadays, everybody's got these earbuds, so you never know. They could be a billionaire wheeling and dealing. Yes, notice Deanne said, seems overwhelming. I'm just telling you, Deanne, if you just literally, it's 7:45 right now, if you set a timer for 1 freaking minute, and you just sat there and you breathed deeply, and you shook your body, you did something different, and you calmed down, and you even just moved your hands like this. Serenity now, serenity now. But notice, you're taking the overwhelm down below your heart. When you do this, your body feels different. When you take something and you say, you know what, I'm stressed out, you know what, I'm going to calm down. Even for a minute, if you choose to. See, now you have a choice. You have a choice. You will never unsee this. You can never go back to thinking I don't have a choice, because you have a choice. Now you're saying, I have something I could do to get me where I want to. I am choosing not to. Now, I don't say this as a judgment thing, because when you're not, and this is where coaching comes in, people, this is usually where coaching shows up, is when you're not doing the things, when you're not taking action with your body, with the thoughts in your head. I know I should declutter, but my hands are like, meh, I'm paralyzed. You know why? Because there's something in between your head and your hands. It's your heart. If you don't feel like doing it, you're not going to do it. So let's hang out here and ask yourself, why don't I feel like doing it? And this is where I say, write that shit down. Nobody else needs to see it, but get it out of you. Notice the words in your head that cause you to feel the feeling of not wanting to do it. You know? Now, Deanne Smith, here's a funny thing. You wish you were my next door neighbor? No, because I'm never home. I am never home. I'm traveling, and I'm often in my office. I am your next door neighbor. I am your neighbor. Oh, sorry. Somebody's walking their dog. Speaking of neighbors. I am your neighbor. Shake it, shake it like a Polaroid picture. Come on, you know what to do. You do know what to do, okay? You know what to do. I am your neighbor. I show up on TikTok and I coach people on Zoom. This is how we show up. This is the modern world. This is the modern world. This is how neighbors show up, okay? And the cool thing is, like, my neighbors, I get along with them. I am blessed to live in a neighborhood that I get along with most of my neighbors. But guess, we are a self-selected group here. My neighbors don't have clutter problems. I like to talk to people who want some help, okay? So Deanne, I will offer this couple of things. One is, I do TikTok lives almost every day of the week, except for when I'm traveling, and I do travel often. I schedule the TikTok lives. If you want to know the next time I am doing a TikTok live, because you like this feeling and you want to hang out with me, kind of like sitting and chatting with our cups of coffee, join my free mailing list. It's free. It's so low key, people. I just don't understand why everybody's not on it, because I give away so much free good stuff to it. But you do you. But I'll let you know if you want to even just get the schedule of the next times I'm doing TikTok lives, and they are scheduled out into September. Join the mailing list at Destination Decluttered, all one word, destinationdecluttered.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the front page, put in your email address. You will get a welcome email that gives you all sorts of free stuff right away. Okay? That's how you can know when to show up, and we can have this kind of daily kind of pep talk, chat, you know? Won't you please, please won't you be my neighbor? Yeah. I totally feel like the little, it's so funny, I must have Mrs. Robinson. No, that's not who I meant. I meant Mr. Rogers. Remember, he was so kind and patient and gentle, and he was kicking off his shoes and he was putting on his cardigan sweater. He was a good guy. Treating yourself with kindness and being comfortable and being patient and encouraging and having fun. I love it. That's why I don't mind showing up in my TikTok lives. I will share this with you guys, though. If all this suddenly becomes a chore and isn't fun for me, I will stop doing what I'm doing. But for now, I enjoy it, you know? And, okay, Soaring Butterfly says, sometimes in great physical pain, it makes hard to get motivated. Yeah, So don't motivate yourself to declutter first. Back up and deal with your pain. But I will share this. I know what it's like to not feel physically. When you don't feel good, you're not doing good. So notice notice when you're not doing good. Are you feeling good? How's your body? How's your spirit? How's your soul? How's your soul feeling? How's your head feeling? When I am in pain, I don't show up well. No. But what I do is I do things to minimize my pain, to make the pain better. Now, Soaring Butterfly, I am so sorry you are in pain and great physical pain. I truly hope you are taking care of yourself. Take care of yourself and address the pain the best you can. Get help with what you're struggling with. But I will say this, is decluttering doesn't require you even lifting a finger. Because if you think and feel, if you get the green light here and the green light here, you can boss somebody else around to tell them to move the things. You can get help with the things, but the thing you do is you make the decisions. Decluttering is decision making. You're the one who decides what you keep and what you let go of. Should I stay or should I go now? You know, what stays in my house and what leaves? What stays in my life and what leaves? You make the decision. You can then point to things and somebody else can move them for you. Now, Lizardo is going to offer one of the things that I love too. I love the timer idea. Clean for 15 minutes, then sit down, recharge, start up again with a timer. This works. Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. That's what I call, well, not my bag of tricks, because it seems like tricky is a trickster thing. I call it a toolkit. Because again, if my car is not running, I want to be able to, instead of calling somebody else to help, I want to be able to reach into my own toolkit and see if what I have works. If what I have works, then I can get myself started again without anybody's help. But if I need help, I will also call AAA. American Automobile Association. I'm kind of like the AAA in your life. If your decluttering is stalled, I can help you get started. Okay? You know? So during a strong... Okay, so we got about 8 minutes, and then really, seriously, I have to remind myself that we're leaving. As I said, this thing is on top of a suitcase. We've got stuff to do and a plane to catch. Strong Silver Soul Sister says, during this live, I cleaned the kitchen, cleared the workstation clutter, broke down boxes, and put them out. Yeah. You know what? You can do the same thing. Yeah. Lizardo, you learned the timer thing from me. I learned it from somebody else. It's like the Fabergé organic shampoo commercial, people. I tell 2 friends and you tell 2 friends and so on and so on and so on. Ideas worth spreading. That's what TED Talks are all about. So I share with you. Find out the next time I'm doing a TikTok Live. You do that by getting on my mailing list. I don't spam you. I don't sell anything to you. I tell you that I do one-on-one paid coaching, but I don't even have any consultation slots available. So I'm not going to totally tell you about that. But it's just something to know that I do. Keep it in the back, your back pocket. Sign up for my mailing list so you know the next time I show up. The next time I show up, say to yourself, hey, this could be fun. I'm going to listen to that TikTok Live and I'm going to work on some surface clutter. And you have some ideas of surface clutter you can do because Strong Silver Soul Sister said, during this, you could, excuse me, I ate cereal right before I came here, so. I cleaned the kitchen, I cleared the workstation clutter, I broke down some boxes and put them out. You could do things like that. You can fold laundry, you can wash dishes, you can put away clothes, you can put things, surface level clutter so that, nowadays, look, it's not even 8 a.m. and Strong Silver Soul Sister has already rocked it as far as decluttering and maintaining a decluttered home. Okay? Every little bit helps, people. Every little bit helps. Deanne, I love it. Okay, neighbor, I will see you the next time I do a TikTok Live. Chicken Chatter is asking, how do you sign up? Wicked easy. DestinationDecluttered.com is my website. That's where you find out about coaching and testimonials and all that kind of stuff. But also there is a place on 2 pages. There's a join page, DestinationDecluttered.com/join, or just go to the home page. It's the easiest thing. Scroll down past all the words, and there's a form that says you want to jumpstart or whatever I wrote on it. Put in your email address. Promise me you're not a robot because I don't coach robots. And then you're signed up. Sometimes you get trapped in a spam filter, but you should receive a welcome email. If you don't receive one within the first half hour of signing up, check in your spam filters and stuff. Also, anybody, and this goes out to anybody who, no matter when you signed up, I sent an email out a few days ago. I don't know, it was maybe Friday, the day that I showed up late. I think it was Friday. Friday, I sent up an email. If you have been on the mailing list and you did not get an email on Friday, check your spam filters, but I will do the same. If you didn't get an email and you expected to, shoot me an email. My email address is beth@destinationdecluttered.com. Okay? Tell me the email address you signed up for, because there are a handful. I've got thousands of people on my mailing list, but there's a handful, like under 20, of people that are kind of trapped in a net, and I would love to get them out of the net and getting the emails. So if you're not getting my emails and you think you should, shoot me an email and let me know, hey, this is the email address I signed up for. I will totally go and research it. I love to solve problems, and I love to help you get what you want. So even if it's something as simple as getting my email, I want to help you do that. Yeah, Deanne says it's 5 a.m. there. Okay, the good news is, Deanne, to make you feel better, I show up at different times of the day. I do. I typically am. My sweet spot for me, and that's where I show up to do my best work, is before noon on a weekday. And I say noon because I'm East Coast time. But just notice that noon East Coast time is even just 9 a.m. on the West Coast and anywhere in between. Okay? So I do this, So Lasardo is saying, before you leave for your vacation, no, I love and so much appreciate you, Beth. You're welcome. Thank you. And that's wicked nice of you to say. I appreciate it. And notice this dynamic. You're sending me good vibes. That makes me feel good. When I feel good, I also want to send good vibes. I then go do good. I show up for more TikTok lives. I can go help people because you're giving me this. And I'm saying you're rocking. Notice this. When we're all on a really cool, awesome, can-do wavelength, we can accomplish major things. And if you're not feeling like you're on that wavelength, I empower you. You can do something about it. When I'm away, when I'm traveling, this is a very short jaunt. This is midweek because we're going to travel, we're going to see a band, we're going to come home. That's how I roll. I love these little short jaunts that we do. But I say, when I'm not there and you need a little bit of, encouragement, go to DestinationDecluttered or Destination Decluttered on YouTube. And this is a cool thing, actually. I just kind of forgot about this. The people on the mailing list get to watch the most recent recordings. Everybody who's not on the mailing list can only see from July before, and there are a ton of them there. But if you're on the mailing list, you know how to access all of the TikTok lives I've done in August. Once September rolls around, which, not to freak you out, but that's next week. That means we have September, October, November, and December, all that's left in the year. If you want to declutter you want to be decluttered during the holidays, get on my mailing list, okay? So notice this. Okay, just signed up. Awesome, people. Yes, kindness is contagious. I've done this and it really helps. Okay? Notice when you feel good. Even if you don't feel good, you just feel better. Better means you felt like this and you're feeling better. I'm feeling better than I did before. When you feel better, you're going to do better. When you do good for stuff for yourself, that's going to help you do good. It's just going to do good for everybody, even if it's never anything physical. Like you'll smile at somebody at the grocery store. You'll let somebody in traffic. As opposed to not feeling good, you're not doing good. Okay? There we go. Laura Gibbons Voorhees. Rock on for you to go out for a morning run. I am not a runner. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm a walker, not a runner, okay? I love it. Michelle is saying, Lasardo said what I feel too. Beth, you are wonderful. You motivate me daily to deal with my clutter. Okay, I love this, you guys, but here's the thing. Who doesn't love some adulation? But that's not why I do it. Really, what I want for you is to hear the words I say and notice how they make you feel. But temporarily hear them from me. I want you to practice this language yourself. When I'm not doing a TikTok live, when I'm not there, you're practicing. You're driving without me in the co-pilot seat. Practice talking to yourself like I would talk to you. Encourage yourself. Love yourself. Be patient. Be kind. Have fun. Do that for yourself, and then slowly what you'll find is that that's going to be the new way you talk to yourself in your head. It's like learning a new language. If you've always been negative, it can be interesting. You're learning a different way of speaking, but it's worth it. So I encourage you, and I thank you for being so kind to me, but I want you to only hear it in my goofy voice temporarily. I want you to listen to it and start talking to yourself like this, so you start to hear it inside here and inside here where it counts, so that you just become that person who's always just loving themselves, because when you're feeling good, you're going to do good. Okay? There we go. Strong Silver Soul Sister says, I didn't wake up feeling good at all, but so much better now. All right, my work is done here. Long live Jambi, okay? I'll see you guys when I get back, all right? You be good. Bye.